Buyer representation agreement questions. Question 1. While analyzing a mixed-use property, Caleb must apply the concept involving an agreement that remains enforceable unless a party with a legal right elects to rescind. Which answer should be selected? Option A, property management agreement. Option B, voidable contract. Option C, lease. Option D, the specific performance. The correct answer is option B, voidable contract. The other party cannot automatically treat the agreement as non-existent. Fraud, duress, or lack of capacity can create this status. The protected party may affirm or reject the transaction depending on the circumstances. Question 2. Which real estate term is defined by unqualified agreement to the terms of an offer communicated in the authorized manner? Option A, the specific performance. Option B, assignment. Option C, acceptance. Option D, unenforceable contract. The correct answer is option C, acceptance. Changing a material term normally creates a counteroffer rather than unqualified assent. Timing and communication rules determine when the agreement becomes binding. Silence generally does not constitute consent unless an established legal exception applies. Question 3. In a transaction involving a small apartment building, which rule controls when there is a contractual right to match or accept terms when an owner decides to sell? Option A, bilateral contract. Option B, contingency. Option C, novation. Option D, right of first refusal. The correct answer is option D, right of first refusal. Once a qualifying third-party offer exists, the holder receives the opportunity defined by the agreement. The right does not usually force the owner to offer the property before deciding to market it. The wording controls notice, timing, and covered transactions. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A property manager asks about substitution of a new party or obligation with consent that releases the original party. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, novation. Option B, executed contract. Option C, exclusive right to sell listing. Option D, avoidable contract. The correct answer is option A, novation. All necessary parties must agree to the replacement. This distinguishes the arrangement from a simple assignment of rights. The former obliger is discharged rather than remaining secondarily liable. Question 5. Imani encounters transfer of contractual rights from one party to another during a marketing review. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, a valid contract. Option B, assignment. Option C, liquidated damages. Option D, executory contract. The correct answer is option B, assignment. Notice helps protect the transferee and the party who must perform. The original party transfers a benefit but may remain responsible for obligations unless released. The contract or law may restrict the transfer of contractual rights when personal performance is important. Question 6. Which choice best matches the description and agreement formed by an exchange of promises? Option A, assignment. Option B, lease. Option C, bilateral contract. Option D, open listing. The correct answer is option C, bilateral contract. Most purchase agreements create reciprocal duties to convey title and pay the price. Performance occurs later even though the agreement is formed at acceptance. Each party becomes obligated when the promises are accepted. Question 7. During review of a duplex in Detroit, the parties discuss a court remedy ordering a party to carry out contractual duties. Which term applies? Option A, open listing. Option B, exclusive right to sell listing. Option C, contingency. Option D, the specific performance. The correct answer is option D, specific performance. Equitable defenses and the claimant's own performance affect availability. Real estate is considered unique, which can support this relief in a purchase dispute. The remedy is available when money damages are inadequate and the agreement is sufficiently definite. Question 8. An exam scenario presents an agreement with one or more material obligations still to be performed. Which answer is most accurate? Option A, executory contract. Option B, time is of the essence. Option C, right of first refusal. Option D, bilateral contract. The correct answer is option A, executory contract. A pending sales contract remains in this status until closing duties are completed or the agreement ends. The contract may be fully signed even though performance is incomplete. Contingencies and deadlines continue to govern the parties.
Are you looking for Nurse Aid actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access Nurse Aid study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get Nurse Aid answer key today.
Question 9. A licensee preparing for a title examination must recognize a written contract defining the broker's duties, scope of representation, term, and compensation for a buyer client. Which concept does this describe? Option A, liquidated damages. Option B, buyer representation agreement. Option C, property management agreement. Option D, acceptance. The correct answer is option B, buyer representation agreement. It should address exclusivity, termination, and the property or market covered. The agreement establishes agency and explains how the broker will be paid. The buyer and licensee must understand potential compensation from other transaction participants. Question 10. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving something of legal value exchanged to support a contract? Option A, statute of frauds. Option B, specific performance. Option C, consideration. Option D, counteroffer. The correct answer is option C, consideration. The exchange can consist of money, a promise, an act, or forbearance. Earnest money may evidence seriousness but is not always required for contract validity. Courts generally examine legal sufficiency rather than whether the bargain was economically equal. Question 11. At an inspection period in Gaithersburg, Rena explains a listing in which the broker earns the agreed compensation if the property sells during the term regardless of who finds the buyer. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, avoidable contract. Option B, exclusive agency listing. Option C, option contract. Option D, to exclusive right to sell listing. The correct answer is option D, exclusive right to sell listing. The broker must still perform the promised marketing and representation duties. The owner's own sale normally triggers compensation unless the agreement creates a specific exception. This arrangement provides the strongest compensation protection to the listing broker. Question 12. A transaction file for an office building raises an issue involving the contract stating the buyer's and seller's obligations for transfer of identified real property. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, purchase agreement. Option B, counteroffer. Option C, property management agreement. Option D, a consideration. The correct answer is option A, purchase agreement. Contingencies, closing duties, risk allocation, and default remedies should be clearly expressed. The agreement remains subject to applicable disclosure and writing requirements. Essential terms include the parties, property, price, and material conditions. Question 13. Which concept should a seller apply to facts involving an otherwise valid agreement that a court will not enforce because of a legal defense? Option A, option contract. Option B, unenforceable contract. Option C, open listing. Option D, buyer representation agreement. The correct answer is option B, unenforceable contract. This status differs from an agreement that was void at formation. The underlying promises may have been lawful and supported by consideration. A missing required writing or expiration of a limitations period can prevent judicial enforcement. Question 14. Kara is studying a rule concerning an agreement giving a holder the right, but not the obligation, to buy or lease under stated terms within a fixed period. Which terms should be chosen? Option A, statute of frauds. Option B, unilateral contract. Option C, option contract. Option D, to exclusive right to sell listing. The correct answer is option C, option contract. The owner must keep the opportunity open during the option term. Separate consideration commonly supports the promise not to revoke. Exercise must strictly comply with the method and deadline stated in the agreement. Question 15. When a historic residence transaction involves an agreement accepted through completion of the requested act rather than a return promise, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, offer. Option B, assignment. Option C, executory contract. Option D, unilateral contract. The correct answer is option D, unilateral contract. An option can create a one-sided obligation because the owner must keep the offer open while the holder may choose whether to exercise. The offeror seeks performance as the method of acceptance. The exact formation rules depend on the offer terms and applicable law. Question 16. A practice question describes a definite proposal communicated with intent to be bound upon acceptance. Which response is best? Option A, offer. Option B, unilateral contract. Option C, void contract. Option D, purchase agreement. The correct answer is option A, offer. The terms must be sufficiently clear for the recipient to understand the proposed bargain. The proposal can terminate through revocation, rejection, counter-proposal, lapse, or operation of law. An advertisement is usually an invitation to negotiate unless it is unusually specific and leaves nothing open. Question 17. During a marketing review, which principle is illustrated by a contract condition allowing performance obligations to depend on a specified event? Option A, avoidable contract. Option B, contingency. Option C, net listing. Option D, right of first refusal. The correct answer is option B, contingency. Failure of the condition can permit termination if the clause is properly invoked. Financing, appraisal, inspection, and sale minus property conditions allocate transaction risk. The party benefiting from the provision must comply with notice and deadline requirements. Question 18. Which answer states the concept associated with a legal rule requiring specified agreements, including many real estate contracts, to be in writing and signed? Option A, buyer representation agreement. Option B, option contract. Option C, statute of frauds. Option D, right of first refusal. The correct answer is option C, statute of frauds. The rule concerns enforceability rather than whether the parties discussed an oral bargain. Exceptions can apply in limited circumstances such as qualifying part performance. The writing must identify the parties, property, and essential terms with sufficient certainty.
Stressed about your nurse aid? We can take nurse aid for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. A landlord handling a rental home in Easton must identify an arrangement in which the owner sets a desired net amount and the broker keeps the excess as compensation. Which choice is correct? Option A, a specific performance. Option B, unilateral contract. Option C, valid contract. Option D, a net listing. The correct answer is option D, net listing. A licensee must follow state law and fiduciary duties rather than assume it is permitted. Many jurisdictions prohibit or restrict this arrangement. The structure creates a serious conflict because the broker benefits from a larger spread rather than a transparent fee. Question 20. During a pre-listing meeting for a condominium unit in Lansing, Talia needs to identify the rule described as a listing allowing the owner to avoid brokerage compensation by personally finding the buyer. Which answer applies? Option A, exclusive agency listing. Option B, purchase agreement. Option C, option contract. Option D, a contingency. The correct answer is option A, exclusive agency listing. The broker earns compensation when the broker or another broker produces the buyer. The owner retains a limited right to sell without owing the agreed fee. The exact result depends on the written agreement and procuring minus cost terms. Question 21. A listing broker is reviewing a cooperative unit in Novi. Which term describes a contract transferring possession and use for a term while the owner retains title? Option A, a consideration. Option B, a lease. Option C, rescission. Option D, liquidated damages. The correct answer is option B, lease. Rent, duration, maintenance, and permitted use are central terms. The tenant receives of the rental agreement hold interest and owes duties stated in the agreement and law. The document does not convey fee ownership to the occupant. Question 22. At a due diligence meeting, a Michigan exam candidate encounters the following description: cancellation that seeks to return the parties to their pre-contract positions. Which concept is being tested? Option A, acceptance. Option B, executed contract. Option C, rescission. Option D, novation. The correct answer is option C, rescission. The remedy may arise by mutual agreement, statutory right, or legal grounds such as fraud. It differs from damages that leave the agreement's consequences in place. Money and property received are typically restored as far as practical. Question 23. Malik is assisting with a warehouse transaction in Silver Spring. Which principle applies when the facts involve a non-exclusive arrangement allowing multiple brokers to seek a buyer, with compensation generally owed to the successful procuring broker? Option A, unilateral contract. Option B, purchase agreement. Option C, rescission. Option D, open listing. The correct answer is option D, open listing. Clear documentation is important because competing efforts can create compensation disputes. The owner may also retain the right to sell independently without paying a broker. No single broker receives exclusive marketing authority. Question 24. Which answer most accurately identifies a response changing the original offer and proposing different terms in a real estate transaction? Option A, counteroffer. Option B, voidable contract. Option C, liquidated damages. Option D, open listing. The correct answer is option A, counteroffer. The roles of offeror and offeree reverse for the new proposal. A later attempt to accept the first offer may fail because it was terminated. The response rejects the original proposal unless the offeror renews it. Question 25. A question arising during buyer consultation concerns an agreement containing competent parties, lawful objective, offer and acceptance, consideration, and required formalities. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, statute of frauds. Option B, a valid contract. Option C, executory contract. Option D, option contract. The correct answer is option B, valid contract. Some real estate agreements must also satisfy writing and signature requirements. The parties must have capacity and the purpose cannot violate law or public policy. A binding agreement requires mutual assent to definite terms and legally sufficient consideration.